This presentation will be covering strategic job hunting. To do so, we will be discussing the following topics. What does job hunting look like today? Why strategic job searching is important? Planning, implementing, and tracking. First off, what does job hunting look like today? If applying on your own rather than going out in person or looking through the newspaper, today almost all jobs can be found on online job boards like LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter, WayUp, and much more. This process is typically referred to as cold applying, since you most likely found the position through a job board and do not know anyone at the company. With online job boards continuously growing in employers and especially in applicants, most employers implement ATS or applicant tracking software, which helps manage the recruiting and hiring process. The software helps screen resumes and narrows down the candidate pool before any real human recruiters or hiring managers view said applications. As a result, the process of applying to jobs is generally referred to as a numbers game, since the more jobs you apply to, the probability of you hearing back from an employer increases. Another more reliable way to find a job is through networking. Networking increases your referral rate from current trusted employees, which in turn increases employers' trust in you. From an employer's perspective, referrals save time and resources and simultaneously speeds up the process of finding the right candidate. Therefore, it is important to network, whether that be through friends, family, alumni, or even strangers on LinkedIn. When connecting with individuals you aren't too familiar with, coffee chats are great opportunities for brief phone calls and meetings that encourage professionals to get to know each other and network from there. So don't be afraid to reach out and network, because everyone is a resource. Why strategic job hunting is important. Strategic job hunting includes planning, implementing, and tracking, all of which helps to keep you organized during this whole process. Planning is an important step because it allows you to prepare and organize all necessary documents for multiple roles, which saves you time and energy. Implementing is important because the act of actually applying helps you realize what adjustments you need to make, either to your documents or strategies throughout the process. Lastly, tracking is important because it enables you to identify which employers are actually responding to you and gain perspective of the numbers game over time. Planning. So the first step during your job search is to plan. This means being able to identify what specific roles you want to apply to. Since this is most likely the beginning of your career, you will be looking for any entry-level positions whose titles include analyst, associate, coordinator, assistant, junior, etc. Once you've narrowed down what role you would like, next you should identify what industries you are interested in. Common interested industries include tech, manufacturing, healthcare, construction, and many more. Then you want to prepare any necessary documents, specifically your resume or CV, cover letter, transcript, and references. Lastly, you'll want to familiarize yourself with online job boards. Creating a LinkedIn or Indeed profile and regularly updating these accounts will help inform potential employers your current employment status and interests. Although these are many job boards out there, it is also important to be aware of the different online interfaces in order to optimize your application experience. Planning your resume or CV. Make sure all of your information is clear and organized. When applying, especially online, employers are most likely having to sort through numerous applications, so it is important to highlight all relevant credentials, experience, and skills. I suggest personalizing university templates since they generally hold a clear and concise structure. When adding your education, list your most recent and highest level of education first and include the college, major, minor, and/or certificates, graduation year, and GPA, but only if it is competitive. Similarly, you will begin listing your experience, whether that be professional, academic, or volunteer experience, with the most recent being at the top. Below each experience position, provide a brief description that encompasses all of your roles' responsibilities within a few bullet points. Then you'll list your skills, preferably your technical skills first, such as your proficiency with any Microsoft applications or computer languages, followed by soft skills like time management, multitasking, and interpersonal skills. If using a template, remember that these are just suggestions and that you can format your qualifications in any way that suits you best. That can be listing your education before your experience or grouping your experience in different categories and so on. Lastly, CVs, which stand for curriculum vitae, present all of your experience and credentials and have no page limit, whereas resumes are more concise versions that highlight your most relevant work within 1 to 2 pages. Planning for supplementary documents. This includes cover letters, references, and transcripts. For cover letters, use AI like ChatGPT and Bard and university templates to your structural advantage. In the first paragraph, introduce yourself and express your interest in the position and company. In the body paragraphs, identify specific accomplishments and responsibilities from relevant experience and how your skills can transfer to the position. To conclude, express gratitude for the opportunity and enthusiasm to hear back from the company. For references, create a reference document with at least 3 to 5 professional or academic references. Include their email address and/or number, as well as the organization they work for, their position, and relation to you. For transcripts, if you have more than one, have them all downloaded just in case, but submit your most recent if asked. Implementing. With online job postings, use specific jargon and exact job titles that you are interested in, but also synonymous job titles because the same job responsibilities can be titled differently depending on the employer. Try to curate your resume and cover letters to match almost verbatim of each job posting because of ATS screenings. This is aimed more towards action verbs described in job responsibilities such as review, audit, and so on. Always submit a cover letter if you can, whether it is required or not, because this weeds out candidates. Additionally, with online job postings, some may appear as easy applies, as seen on LinkedIn and Indeed, which only involves submitting your resume. However, this typically leads to easy rejections. Employers tend to make their application process a little more time-consuming because this also weeds out candidates as well. Finally, tracking. It is recommended to make a spreadsheet of your process and to include the date applied, what position, company, location, and/or work setting, whether it's remote, hybrid, or on-site, its status, like whether the application has been viewed or an interview has been scheduled, and other potential details as seen in this graphic. Not only will this help keep you organized, but it will also help when responding back to employers appropriately and in a timely manner, preferably within 24 to 48 hours. That concludes the strategic job hunting training presentation, and hopefully you feel more in control with the job hunting process. Good luck!